Today, I'm going to read a story titled, I Ruined My Marriage with My 33-Year-Old Husband by opening up about, is it irreparable? And guys, the woman in this story is singing the blues and seeking a lot of sympathy because guess what? By talking about it, she ended up ruining her marriage completely. It's now a complete mess. This story will be told, guys. She was already getting bored and wanted to open things up, and the marriage license had barely been signed. And as you can see, the husband initially thought, no way. However, she continued to annoy him until he gave in, which he did. Since then, it has been spiraling downward. And as you will see here, men, it should come as no surprise that she does not have any trouble meeting men. And fine, she has a good appearance. However, the guy eventually meets another woman, a much younger and prettier one, and he and she begin to fall in love. She suddenly wants to close things again out of fear of losing him, which came as a big surprise. What's this? This guy won't give her up, and it looks like he's just going to kick her out. She's having a meltdown and is worried about everything. I'm using this guy as another example to show you how bad this idea is these days. I don't know when it became popular to sell people on it, but it's a mess that just kills relationships and marriages. And as soon as that is requested, it reciprocates. It's done. Men are women. Additionally, a lot of people dislike hearing that, particularly individuals who are interested in alternative lifestyles. The way it is, these things that you keep seeing over and over again are impossible to deny. So if you're a guy in a relationship and your lady, wife, or anyone else brings us up, you should think twice about how much she loves you and is loyal to you. Having said that, I'll get right into it. Before I begin, she says, please don't berate me. I am aware that I was a terrible wife. I have an 11-year relationship, a 7-year marriage that has been open for 3 years, and a 4-year-old son. I don't need anyone else to confirm that for me. Therefore, it is not because the fact that she is acting in this manner to the man is already bad enough. However, now that she is also 4 years old, notice how she stated that they had been open for 3 years, even though this has been going on for much longer since the child was born. In addition, I have to wonder if the child is his DNA sample. I realized I wasn't happy soon after we got married. Therefore, when I inquired about a threesome, he replied never. However, I irritated him about it. He gave up at last, and we got one. I'm glad he initially said, no way, but she kept bugging him until he caved. Does this sound like she loves him? Since she is aware that he does not want to do this, it is evident that he is hurt by it. When you tie the knot, there are just the two of you. She should not have married the man if she wanted to have other guys, but probably because everyone else was getting married when she was in her late 20s. I have to get married too, but maybe I can convince this guy to let me have my cake and eat it too. He participated in a threesome just to make her happy, so that's probably going on. Dude, get real. Our situation only got worse as a result. In the end, I demanded it, required us to begin sharing. He refused, but I was able to persuade him to do it once more. She is horrible. And now that he's picturing her with other guys, you wonder why life has gotten worse. He feels like he isn't good enough for a man, right? Says this because my husband kept abruptly leaving in the middle of the group, and I was making them all uncomfortable. It told me that we were no longer welcome after only a few visits. He made me feel bad after we argued for some time. He stayed away for a few days. When I mentioned that I wanted to have an open marriage the next time we talked, he immediately agreed, provided that I didn't constantly harass him until he agreed to it anyway. But right now, she just keeps bugging him until he gives in. He was just worn down. She adds, please don't berate me once more at the story's beginning. I am aware that I was a terrible wife. Are you down then? You have been an awful wife. However, don't worry, guys. The last laugh goes to this guy. She tells me to listen. Here, this is not surprising. While he was unable, I was able to acquire stands and companions with relative ease. She's on top. The way it is. But it's a lot harder for a guy. Even if a man has good looks, he won't get a line of girls down the street if he holds up a sign that says, free. However, if a woman with average looks holds up a sign that says, free, men will line up down the street, whether they want to or not. He resented me for going through a long series of partners. He resented it because of you. Look at what you're doing. You're supposed to be his wife who loves him and is loyal to him. Additionally, you are a mother. What kind of mother is this then? Unbelievable. However, if we're being fair, he allowed this and stayed with her through it, which reveals something about him. Around July of last year, he was heartbroken and loveless. He met a gathering of more youthful individuals, all in their mid-20s, and they all liked him. A girl in particular, who we'll call Vicky. The day they met, he began meeting her, and he has remained with her ever since. Consequently, I met Vicky nearly a year and a half ago, and she is a stunning, imaginative, intelligent, and jovial PhD student. She resembles his favorite celebrity in a lot of ways. At first, I wasn't looking around. Even though she was spying, I knocked on the mouse on his computer and discovered a Facebook conversation in which they discussed how much he regrets marrying me and how he despises the open relationship, but is glad it led to their meeting. Although I didn't say anything about the conversation, I did inquire about closing the relationship, and to say that he wasn't interested would be an understatement. He said that because he's getting attention, and I don't like it if I ask for this, I can't just close it right now. As with other stories I've written, the patterns you see here are amazing. Believe me when I say that the characters in these stories do their best to persuade you of their love for you, but everyone else is doing it now, and she never truly loved or cared. She might be feeling unfulfilled because she has a stronger desire for love. They can collaborate, and as a result, he may be a little more proficient in the method for something similar, or just accept that you stay with the man you married and figure something out. These things never work, who knows? And afterward, these egotistical spouses need their person back after they just annihilated their spirits. Zero chance. So if he's out there, I'm going to send him positive energy into the universe. And you can all convey my best wishes to him. He should hopefully move on from this, and so on, because the situation is awful. It is awful. Even though she claims to love him, you wouldn't do that to them.